Claire frowned and said, "I don't seem to know anyone named Wade, except for my husband." Doris nodded lightly. Charlie had told her not to reveal his identity information, so she could only reveal so much. Apart from Charlie, Claire did not know anyone with the Wade, but she had never thought that her orphaned husband, who was of no use, was the son of Yes. At this time, Doris said again, "Ms. Wilson, let me see if the share of intention to cooperate in your information is 30 million? Claire nodded in a hurry, and asked without a bottom, "Is it too much?" Doris smiled and said, not much, but less." Claire became even more confused, and hurriedly asked, "What do you mean?" Doris smiled and said, "Our chairman explained that he asked me to increase the cooperation share to 60 million. While talking, Doris took out a contract and handed it to Claire. "Look, the contract has been drawn up in advance, and the total is 60 million. If you think it's okay, we can sign it now." Huh? This? Claire was really dumbfounded. She didn't expect that the Emgrand Group, which was unable to reach the Wilson family, would take the initiative to prepare a contract for her. Moreover, the contract amount has doubled. Grandma's goal is 30 million, and the contract actually says 60 million. She suddenly thought that during the meeting last night, her husband Charlie resolutely let her take this task. Why was he so confident? And when he was at the door of the Emgrand Group just now, she had no confidence at the time, but he seemed confident. Did he already know the result? Who is he? At this moment, Claire suddenly had an unbelievable thought in her heart. Is the Wade in Doris's mouth just her husband Charlie? But after another thought, she felt it was too magical to be true. How could it be? Charlie is an orphan who grew up in a welfare institution. However, besides Charlie, who else in this world would treat her so well? 30 million is an extravagant hope, but the other party directly gave 60 million. She couldn't help but ask Doris, "Ms. Doris, may I ask, is your chairman's name Charlie?" Doris sighed in her heart. The young master had ordered not to reveal his identity, and could only say that his surname was Wade to the outside world. If this was guessed by the young lady, wouldn't she have to go back? So she hurriedly said, "Ms. Wilson, don't ask any more. Our chairman is behind Eastcliff's famous door. His identity is highly confidential and I have no right to disclose it." Claire nodded lightly, and after Doris said the famous Eastcliff family, she suddenly recovered. Charlie is an orphan. It can't be some Eastcliff famous door. It seems that she really thinks too much. When she came out of Doris's office, Claire was still dizzy. What she held in her hand was the 60 million cooperation agreement between the Wilson family and the Emgrand Group. All this is just like a dream. At the gate of the Emgrand Group, Claire saw Charlie's figure and ran up excitedly and said, "Charlie, I actually made it." Charlie smiled secretly in his heart. Your husband is the boss of the Emgrand Group, how could you fail to talk about it? However, he pretended to be surprised and said, "You can negotiate such a difficult project. Wife, you are really amazing." Claire said, "Oh, this is not my great one. This is simply a gift from the Emgrand Group." "What?" Charlie asked deliberately. "Why do you say that?" Claire was afraid that she would say something about the chairman of the Emgrand Group, and Charlie would be jealous, so she hurriedly said, "Oh, this is a long story. Let's go to the company now and tell everyone the good news." Charlie laughed and said, "Okay." This time, that bee at Starred Herald has to abide by the betting contract and kneel and kowtow to me. Claire nodded, and said, "He usually has a high-level eye and no one is in the eye, so he should be taught a lesson." In fact, Claire also has her own temper. She wants that the people like Harold don't look down on her and her husband in every possible way. Now that they have negotiated a cooperation, they really want to restrain them in the future. More than 10 minutes later, the two came to the Wilson Group. In the meeting room, everyone in the Wilson family looked strange. They all know that Claire went to the Emgrand Group early in the morning, but everyone didn't believe that she could handle it, and they were all waiting to see her become a joke. Unexpectedly, she would come back so soon. When Claire and Charlie arrived in the meeting room, everyone showed sarcasm.